Are we continuing the thing of talking over the intro music?
Yeah, I think we should.
It's like a boo 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 boo.
It's pretty close, actually.
That's what you get for being a music major in college.
It's like a tune played on
It's like
an Operation Game Board.
more like
Talking over the intro.
more like something from like a really old-fashioned 16, 8-bit song. You know, old school Final Fantasy style. Or Pokemon. That would be another.
Right. Now we're officially live.
I think we've been live for a few seconds because I was watching on YouTube and it came up with something that I said in the past. Makes me sad.
That's what I heard. I was like, what was that? It's like, is it my computer?
I knew what that was.
Turn your radio
Right.
off.
Turn your radio off.
Turn your radio off. Turn your radio off.
Okay,
Turn your
right.
lights down low.
Shut up. Shut up. Yeah, shut. Right. Welcome, everybody. This is the most people we've ever had on. Well done, us. So we went through a bit of a drought of having to have Evan on and then having him not on. So we shit talk him the whole of the last episode and gave him all the picks that we didn't want in our fantasy draft. But now we are back. We are back with our crystal balls. Is everyone taking care of your crystal balls? You should always look after your crystal balls. Check them daily.
I had a lump on my crystal ball once. Actually, I think it's still there, but it's okay.
It's like, all right, we should do a men's health section, shouldn't we?
Weird prismatic artifacts, but that's a personal thing.
Yeah.
We are the Beerumverates. We are a group of guys from Sifted.net who are here to talk about good beer and video games. We are not here to promote drinking. Please drink responsibly. Any beers or breweries we may be talking about aren't sponsoring us, but if you fancy doing it, we'll gladly take that money and say, this is lovely. And I even may wear a powdered wig to do it, because apparently, according to Matt, that's what everyone in Britain goes around wearing.
It's going to be the new style.
New style
Coming
for
back.
2020. It's coming
You know,
back.
the new season of The Crown came out. It is in style. Royalty, man.
Right.
My
So,
wife and I watched that show.
It's a very good show. Just got done with season 3. So good.
Yeah, you guys watch that as a show. I call that history.
Pretty much that's what I'm like learning history as I'm watching this. It's really interesting.
My wife and I make sure to, especially during like very interesting ones, we try and go and look up like, hey, according to history, how much of this show was real and how much did they kind of make up? And it was surprising. Like, it was terrifying, the episode of season 2 or whatever where they dealt with her uncle and his connection to Germany. That was terrifying.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's worse stuff than that.
I know, but it just was like,
Just wait for season 4.
Oh yes.
Knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Right. Before we get into the intro, I thought it would be a bit fun, and in the spirit of Death Stranding already being in the sale, I thought I'd go around and give everyone who's going to be on the show Hideo Kojima character style names. So,
gotta write this down.
Starting with Matt, you are short beard guy.
Short beard guy. All right.
Because some of these things are going to be quite literal, because that seems to be what
He goes for
characters from Hideo Kojima's games get.
This is more Death Stranding than Metal Gear Solid, right? Seems like, okay.
Yeah. So he's, Matt isn't going to suddenly start drinking wine and going around on roller skates. Liam, you are Cambridge-man.
Cambridge.
I'm not sure I like this. Bloody Cambridge. I hate this place. Bloody expensive here.
Yeah.
sorry,
Mike?
I thought you said Kane. Now I laugh.
Mike, you are the father.
Eat your heart out, Shane.
That's
Eat
your
hard
best
out.
one, yeah.
Evan,
楽の外国人
Okay. Yeah. Accurate.
And
Oh,
Mitch, you are the baby Nadian.
I was thinking it was going to be Baby Canadian.
That's awesome. My wife is going to be so happy.
And I'm just McWomble because that's how it goes.
Kojima
Right.
is just Kojima.
No, you are the
No, we're
McRib.
moving on. We've already moved on.
I
Beers.
think you should have a subtitle, like McWomble the Not Wise or McWomble the
Well,
No,
so
it-
technically the character from the TV show was Cousin Cairngorm McWomble the Terrible. So I'll continue with that one.
What was
Be
Mitch's-
like-
real quick, what was Mitch's again? What was Mitch's
I was
again?
going to say he's the McRib.
McRibber.
Makes rules, man.
So what was
Weird
the,
rule man.
what was the translation for Evans? Because I've changed everybody's Twitter handle to our Kojima name on the stream.
Evans is a foreigner at home.
Okay.
Yeah, foreigner at home.
Mike,
That's the worst Netflix TV show series ever. I wouldn't watch that.
Now, Evan, since McWomble doesn't know Japanese, did that auto speak translation get it actually right, or is it wrong?
It's slightly strange, just like literally translated, but it makes sense. Like I knew what it meant. Just Google Translate for you. Every now and then, they just give you like the literal translation.
What is currently your home prefecture?
Kyoto.
Kyoto. Okay.
Kyoto, yeah.
ミッチに耳を傾けないで。
Is that I just want McWomble to speak in that just for the rest of the show.
ミッチに耳を傾けないで。
Did you say
All
bitch?
no, it's meant to be. Don't listen to Mitch.
Oh,
Don't lend your ears to Mitch. Yeah.
No, you should never lend him your ears. That'd be weird.
Mitch, you were the Candid Adian.
the
What?
king,
Baby Nadian.
baby Nadian.
Baby Nadian, yeah.
Candidadian is actually a pretty good one, though.
Not even from Canada. Come on, guys.
No.
If anything, I would be the Wisconsinian.
There you go.
The
I
cheese
could-
sleaze.
Oh,
I was thinking
Wisconsin. That's
a
about
young, attractive, trendy kid.
Man,
Right.
man.
Beers. Fucking shut up, Beers. Right. So I have Wild Beer Company Nebula American Style Hazy IPA, and actually, it's very nice. Cheers.
Good. I like how the second you hold it up, it's just like a handle.
Disappears.
Oh man.
That's good. Good to know.
What do you got,
Next.
Mike's Q?
Because I didn't have any coffee-esque beers, I had to taste something that was closer to breakfast. So I have Ballast Point Sour Wench. This is their white wine barrel aged in Chardonnay and Sauvignon barrels. And
Why
it
do
has-
I feel like that title just matches you so well? The Sour Wench.
My wife is actually very nice and pleasant.
No, I'm not a reflection of your wife. It's
I
just
know.
a style of stuff.
No,
The
but it's
When
it's very good. It has like a good sour punch in the front, and it has a nice like woody finish to the different grains or whatever. It's not, the barrel aging doesn't make it super oppressive like some, and super very dense in alcohol like some. Like I have an apple barrel aged in brandy barrels that is just so overpowering at like 9.5%. And I was like, I'm not doing that at 10 in the morning before coffee. So
so are you saying it's like a Sour Patch Kid for beers?
That would be
less without the sweet middle section, because you know how
Okay.
the Sour Patch Kid like goes into the like
Mhm.
kind of crappy Turkish delight sweet
Mhm.
right after the sour. It doesn't have that, and it just goes right to a nice woody finish. So
It's really interesting because just looking at my reaction and Liam's face is like, what the hell are you guys talking about?
Wait, you don't know what a
You
Sour
guys
Patch
don't know what
Kid is?
oh my god.
Oh, so it's basically this American.
I only know about powdered wigs,
Okay. Anyways,
mink coats, and
Okay.
invading other countries to rinse
So-
them of their
so
natural
If this
resources.
goes on long enough, I'll go get a
Tasty.
glass of Lagavulin 16.
So Sour Patch Kid is a little teddy bear candy, and the concept of it is first they're sour, then they're sweet. And so like all their commercials, they do something really rude, like they go and like wreck someone's car, and then they're like, "What did you do?" And then they go back and like they fix it with like pineapple splay
rings or
stuff,
something, or
and then they're sweet. Or like
so it would be like, say, imperialist countries going invading other countries, rinsing them all of their natural resources, and then saying, "But you know what? Here's democracy."
I was gonna say here's McDonald's, but
Same difference, right?
Yeah.
I guess that my favorite one they did was it cut off a lock of a girl's hair as their sour moment, and then they gave them a hug and a card and said, "I'm sorry," and that was their sweet moment. And the girl goes, "It's okay," and I'm like, "You just locked off your hair."
I'm really not sure that these adverts will pass the Advertising Standards Agency in this country.
well,
That's like the equivalent of saying like no offense, but you're a fucking asshole and I hate you. It's like, but I said no offense. Reminds me of Ricky Bobby a little bit.
Who are you saying that to, though, Evan?
The sour
Okay.
than sweet of the
The
Sour Patch Kids
concept of
commercials,
the
yeah.
I
commercial.
thought you were actually
Oh.
picking someone out who's on the stream.
Oh,
If anyone,
don't
it's going to
worry.
be me.
I just got away with it, but there's 5 other people here, and
Next.
no one's gonna know who I was talking to.
I need
We
to
know.
stop- I need to stop looking at my own face.
All right, McWomble, what are we on the show for today?
If we,
Has everybody else done their beers?
Yeah, it was
I'll
like,
do I'll do
Oh,
a quick one.
it's like we only got 2 beers.
no, we got a third. Never mind.
Who else? Anyone else?
No, it's you. Go.
I am drinking the Raiden Tanuki IPA. It's kind of an interesting
Tainuki.
label.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
beer's
That
got
is-
balls.
That is cool. I like
Raiden,
that.
and it's turn it around. You get this guy.
I-
Raiden. It's dedicated to Raiden Taemon, who is apparently the greatest sumo wrestler in the history of Japan. I didn't
Nice.
know that. I'm not going to pretend that I did.
Oh, when I was there, I could not find a craft Japanese beer to save my life.
When did you come?
That was back in 2015.
I gotta see if the place in town where those noodles, Evan, if they have Japanese beers. I'll have to see if they do. It's like
Craft beer would probably be hard to come by.
well,
Yeah,
the
I
street,
doubt they export.
the street that they're on,
ビール
call
が
it-
必
they
要
call
で
it
す。
Little Japan. So I'm curious. They have a bunch of toys and stuff that they import to different shops like that. So I wonder if they might
You
have
should
it.
check. You never know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm-
Mike. I would say, what is it? 19. It's the craft beer scene is probably started probably around there. Maybe
Yeah,
12. Now you can go to a lot of places and find like a lot of microbreweries on tap and stuff like that. But maybe in 2015, if you didn't know where to.
yeah, it was just your
Where to go.
Sapporos and others. So I found some ones that I couldn't find in the States, which were good. And so it was
Sure.
like having a craft beer, but I couldn't find anything that was off the beaten rice path.
Yeah. This is a nice IPA. Japanese IPAs tend to be a bit lighter. It's not as hoppy as an American IPA, but then nothing really is in that regard. But this is
Because you take
drinkable.
everything to the max.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I mean it is.
We
we
need
can
more
pound it with hops,
and then with
beaten hops.
and then hops on hops.
I didn't mean that like I'm like, but nothing really is an American IPA. You know, am I right?
Oh yeah, no.
Oh,
I-
just McWomble saying hops on hops.
Hops on hops.
It's more like
What
hops
a-
on
Hops on hops.
But no, it's 6%. It's good. Kind of settles on the tongue. It's not this quick punch that fizzles away at the end. It kind of lingers there, and it's not too bitter. It's not too hoppy, but yeah, it's good.
I was meant to get tones of lemongrass off this, but I don't know if I'm just feeling a bit sinusy, but I'm not getting it. Anyway, right. So we are here to do our 2020 predictions. There was meant to be someone else who was apparently going to appear on this show live with us right now. And then they pulled out to go and play board games. And they sent me 2 predictions. But because they sent through predictions but aren't actually on the show, what I am going to do is change their predictions. So what we're going to do is each one of us is going to go round and say one word to do Shanghai Dan's prediction for him. Now we need to, just off the top of your head, I'll start, and then we'll go Matt, Liam, Mitch, Evan, Mike, and then hopefully by 6 words we'll have a prediction for 2020. And I'll start.
All right.
Hideo Kojima.
Me next.
Yes.
Will.
Liam.
Get.
Mitch. Mitch may have frozen. Evan.
Is it
Kojima will get
fired?
up.
That was perfect.
Right, so there we go. Thanks for that, Dan. Right, so what we'll do is waiting for Mitch's stream to come back. We're going to do, because there's so many of us, we won't get through loads and loads of predictions. So what we're going to do is one kind of semi-sensible prediction, as sensible as we can get. And then we'll do one off-the-wall, pie-in-the-sky, absolute bonkers thing that you think may happen, but it's got to be in the realms of possibility. Right.
So one plain and one fancy.
Yeah.
Right.
So imagine one is a denim jacket and the other one's a powdered wig.
Yeah. Okay. And if we are short on material, I have a couple of super short ones that are just bullet points like, all right, I can see that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we could do, at the end, we could just fire off like a bunch of random stuff.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Right. So starting with me, as all good things do.
The rule man.
Weird rule man. So I think that EA are going to win E3 2020.
That's your
Is this
sensible.
Is this your plain or fancy?
No, this is my weird one. I'm going to start with weird.
This is fancy.
In this reality, is Sony at E3 again?
No, because they've said they're not going.
Well, they haven't said they're not going. We just don't know yet. Michael Pachter thinks they're not going.
Yeah, well, there's other rumours coming out. The CES presentation after that, what's his face, the new head of Sony Computer Entertainment.
Sony's PR has been weird. Like, I can't read them anymore.
Anyway, back to my prediction.
Okay.
So, EA are going to announce a new Star Wars game coming this year.
Okay.
Ooh.
They are going to announce the first stage in a Final Fantasy VII style Mass Effect remake to come next year. And then they're going to announce that Anthem has been totally rebuilt and is actually going to be something that people might want to play. And then they'll go through all the sports games and all that kind of shape. But
is that their exact explanation for Anthem? Would be it's going to be a game you actually want to play.
Yeah. Is it?
Well, wait a minute.
Such a good.
McRule Man, is this EA undoubtedly wins E3, or is this simply because they're going to release the Mass Effect trilogy remastered that they win it for you?
No, that's not it. They're going to also announce they're going to open up the back catalogue, and they're going to be diving in there, and they're going to be remaking franchise after franchise, and it's not going to be horrid mobile games. They're going to be coming out with new Command and Conquer. They're going to revisit some of the other sports franchises, so they're going to come up with, oh Christ, what was the good sports game that they used to make? Oh yeah, Madden. They're going to make Madden fun again. And the fact that Microsoft are going to have, they're going to be talking about the Xbox Essex, and Sony aren't going to be there.
Only British people get that joke.
Yeah.
No, I understand the Essex.
Okay. I'm sorry for you.
It's going to come on where it heals. It's going to come. The Xbox Essex is going to come as a special edition. And it's going to come with a kind of fake tan and cheap jewelry. And
this is not pie in the sky. This is literally impossible.
Yeah, but that's my weird and fanciful. EA are going to pull their head out of their backsides and realize they're sitting on loads of great IP, and they're going to remake loads of different games. We're going to get a new Dead Space, totally.
Oh my god, you're just firing it out there. You're just shotgun blasting.
These are not predictions. These are hopes and
I've
dreams.
got
this is not a
huge
prediction.
problem
This is
with all of this.
And they will remaster the Two Towers and Return of the King beat 'em ups from the GameCube PS2 era.
That would be awesome. Well, Liam, why do you have a problem with it?
I have a huge problem with this because even if EA delivered every wish I could ever want, I would still be skeptical as fuck about them.
Yeah.
It's like they're lying. I don't believe a word. How are they gonna fuck it up? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. How are they going to find? They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
Well,
I do know-
even if they did all this, who is going to make them? Like they have to actually make these and make them good. It's not like you can just make it and you can't just wish it to happen and all of a sudden it's going to be a great game. Like it actually takes a good team to do that, and everyone good has left.
Like the American.
Everyone good has left created their own studios. The only way they could do that is say we bought up a bunch of new studios that used to work for us, and now they're going to make those games that they always wanted to make. But that's never going to happen. Let's be honest.
Well, it's my fanciful one. So no, I was expecting it to get shat on a wee bit.
I still have
honestly,
this shrine.
I think that Anthem could be good eventually. It seems like
that's
most
not a
that's totally
fine
reasonable. Absolutely.
like most
I mean,
live
so is a
service
Mass
games.
Effect trilogy remaster, right? I mean, they don't remaster stuff, but it's not that far out of the way.
Yeah,
I think it is. I haven't seen them until they remaster something. I don't see them remastering.
well, they remastered
fair
Burnout
enough.
Paradise a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. I think there's only been 3 or 4 remasters they've done, and they've all been of relatively small scale. I mean, unless you're a huge Burnout fan. But I mean, I've always had a tiny soft spot in my heart for EA, just because of how just enchanted and enthralled I was for Mirror's Edge long before it came out. Like this is a way like 10 years ago EA, but like that game like gave me hope for like, hey, something different, something unique, and it just wasn't as good as people thought it would be, or whatever. But I watched that teaser trailer or the first trailer for Mirror's Edge dozens of times, and I'm just like, wow, this is
was EA Unravel as well?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And Unravel too.
They try to. I think you're right, Mike. They try to dangle something out there, like, hey, we're not just doing all the old stuff. We'll throw you
This
an
has got
indie
no
bone here.
microtransactions, but here's all the rest of the stuff that does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's
Well,
our
how much
mobile
of a
library.
big deal they made out of having no microtransactions in Star Wars earlier this year. Or last year.
Oh,
It's like,
it's slow clap.
look, guys, this doesn't have microtransactions. And you buy the product and you don't have to buy anything else.
And we're not going
get
to
it?
charge you to change your saber color. Like you can just pick your saber color.
That
Only
actually
if
brings
you-
up a super interesting question of what you guys think about IGN re-reviewing Battlefront 2. They gave it a new score.
No, you reviewed the game. No.
They
But
went back
it's
and
bullshit,
gave it
they're well
a
off
new
anyway.
score of 8.8.
I would love to dive deep into this topic with you, Mike, but I mean,
That's
That's off the
That's a
its own
different
topic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Different
that's a
show.
different show.
That's
I do
the
have lots of
Beerumverate
thoughts on
After
that, though.
Dark.
When after dark, the after show,
Where we're all drinking stout.
where
Right.
Matt is drunk.
Right. Matt, we'll go to you next. Are you going to do your real or fanciful pick?
I am going to do my sensible pick, and I think that Sony will release a wireless VR headset.
Damn it!
Is that?
In 2020?
Yeah, I think they can do it.
Okay. All right. Then my plane is a very good follow-up to your prediction whenever you're done. So
Well, that was it. I mean, that was the prediction.
okay.
Burkoff, are you saying that when they do their big PlayStation 5 blowout presentation, whether that is at
It will be
E3
there.
or their own thing? Are they going to?
Someone comes on stage wearing it to then introduce the box that the PS5 is going to be, and the feed that you get at home when you're seeing it is from the perspective of that person in VR who's looking at the PS5 box in VR, manipulating it with.
I don't think they would do.
They need to get me on their marketing team.
Here's why.
Needs Mitch in the office whenever they make a stupid naming point, and PlayStation needs to get me on their marketing team.
I disagree, because I think if you look at it, they're not going to try to reveal two products at the same exact time. Like, they're going to focus on PlayStation.
What if it was a bundle?
But
what if they do a bundle, right off the bat?
No, that's why you do. No, so this is what they would do. They would do their first event with just the PlayStation, announcing the PlayStation. Then they will do a second event sometime, maybe if this is going off Burkhoff's prediction, if like this is were to happen, they would be doing a second event, maybe after E3, maybe before, maybe at or even at E3 itself.
They'll do the direct during E3
as a separate product. And then they would say, yep, you can bundle it if you want to when we put PlayStation on sale. But I don't think they will, because no one is going to spend that much money on a bundled product on a brand new console that we don't even know the price for, that potentially could be $400 to $500.
Well,
and you're asking for them to pay for a wireless VR. And my only question for you, Burkhoff, would be: is this going to be an upgraded VR headset? Is it the same kind of VR headset? Is it going to be more expensive? Is it going to be cheaper? Like,
I have a great follow up to this with my prediction.
I think it's going to be the same tech. I don't think it's going to be an upgrade. It's just going to be refined.
Okay. All right. That's a good curveball to that. My plain and sensible prediction had been that total sales of legitimate VR head-mounted displays, meaning not Google Cardboard, not the Oculus
Samsung Gear,
like any of that stuff, not that, like actual ones, would be at their all-time high. But my prediction goes on further to say that Oculus and the Valve Index will actually see the most growth. I was thinking that barring a deep discount, Vive and PSVR would actually see less sales than they did in 2019. And the reason I have for this is that Half-Life Alyx is coming out later this year. And I believe that the super hardcore who are they are in VR, they are in it for whatever it is, they will move to the Index, because the Index is better than the Vive. It's better than the Oculus. It's better than those ones. And they're like, I want the best. I want all that. And so Index sales will be up. And because that's kind of taking the place of the HTC Vive, those sales will be down. I also think that Oculus, the various Oculus family, will be up because that is the lowest entry point to be able to play Half-Life Alyx, because Half-Life Alyx is not a PSVR title.
Right.
It is only for full PC VR. And so
do you see maybe it coming to PlayStation VR as like a timed exclusive? So
no, I actually hope it doesn't. Only because
you'd have to
Half-Life Alyx, it is one of the first games that kind of make you really
part of the master race.
And it's not that, it's the type of controls that they are pushing. Whereas PSVR is, they've got either you're using the DualShock or you're using the wands, but the wands do not have really any tracking whatsoever. The Oculus Fists, which I have over here somewhere, and the Vive, and all those have the tracking that is needed. And so I think that overall, and PSVR will be down because just like what you said, is that on this new horizon, there's already new console hardware on the way. No one is going to spend money on
$800-900
on last season's VR until they see what the plan for it moving forward is. And Sony has not shown us that. And so that's why I think PSVR will actually be down in sales unless they do a huge discount of some sort.
Well, that's why I think
also
it's going to be a revision of the same hardware.
Yeah.
So they can get the price down.
Well, they've got.
I think that'd be cool, but
already haven't they?
But Mitch,
patent drawings are already out for PSVR 2, which show both a wired and wireless option.
Mm-hmm.
because you need a wired option if you want to play whilst you're charging the headset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's already the technology planned. I think, Matt, you could be right that they'll announce it and it could be released in 2020. I also think Mitch is right. I know I'm surprising myself. That who's going to spend 800-900, maybe even more, to get a PS5 and the PSVR 2 on top?
That's why I would think it would be in like spring, summer 2021.
Yeah, like I think people who are buying VR this year, there are people who are going to be buying VR for normal PCs because they're like, I don't care about the console market, or like that's later. Like those things are not coming until the end of the year. So like, and some smart people are going to say like, I probably don't need the brand new consoles at the exact date they launch because there's probably not going to be that many things that are just for him. And so
well, it segues into my one, so I'm just gonna go right into it, which is well, unless anyone else had anything to say.
Unless Liam wants to butt in.
No, let Mitch go first.
Okay. So my reasonable pick is going to be believe that this launch lineup will be the best launch lineup in history. You think about it,
because you froze for a sec.
Oh, sorry. This is for well, I guess my prediction will be at least one platform will have its best launch lineup in history. I believe it'll probably be Sony has the best strategic opportunity compared to the other ones. So, because you have potentially Horizon.
How dare you? Gears, Halo, and Forza are the backbone of Microsoft,
and there's only
they've been
one
doing
of them
so well
out.
for them for all these years.
Only one of them is coming out.
No, Forza will be coming out.
Oh, you haven't got an announcement yet. No,
I don't know. Even if a new Gears, a new Halo, and a new Forza came out, I wouldn't. This is my personal preference. I wouldn't call that remotely like interesting lineup. Yeah.
Generally, all three of them don't have the weight of a Nintendo or a Sony first-party title
anymore. They used to. They don't have it anymore, and that's why I don't. That's why I would pick Sony, because I mean you have potentially Horizon Zero Dawn 2, which has been hinted heavily from Guerrilla Games, and at the same time, you know, the head of Guerrilla is now the head of Sony Worldwide Studios. What a better way to show him off by saying, "Hey, look at my old franchise coming back." But there's that.
Is that how he's going to say it too?
Yeah.
I only hope.
And then he's going to say, Evan. He's going to say, "Here's the first piece of footage from Yakuza, Like a Dragon."
I can't believe you guys missed the opportunity to say "punched" for the very first time instead of "touched." Oh my god, there you go. I was screaming at my fucking my computer when I was watching that episode. I gotta keep you on my mind.
Well, you did.
Anyways,
you weirdo.
Well, yeah.
Anyways,
no, I wasn't.
So we have.
I was just speaking my mind. I wasn't.
We have that, but then we also have yeah. So we have that, but then we also have if you're looking at it, like Montreal now has been WB has now been pushing that Batman may be coming, and that could be a launch lineup title. We also have God. Jesus, what it was called?
Gods
now.
and Monsters.
God something.
God Jesus.
Godfall.
Godfall. Thank you.
Oh, I thought Gods and Monsters.
Okay. No, PS5 stuff.
How did you forget the most generic part of that the title of that game?
Because it was from Gearbox.
There you go.
I mean, it looked pretty nice.
Gearbox are just publishers. People are being mean to that game just because it's associated with Gearbox.
Like the thing is, my actually initial history with Gearbox is awesome because Gearbox made the side they made some of the side missions or projects or spin-off games for the Half-Life 1 universe. So like Half-Life Opposing Force was Gearbox. I love that game. You're not wrong. Go play Black Mesa.
Yes.
So yeah, I think
out very soon.
I think it's very reasonable to believe that this could be the best launch lineup for a console space. And I think also the other drastic thing is the architecture of these consoles are so similar now, going from one generation to the other, instead of going from a PC architecture to the cell processor or going back to PC architecture. And I also think Sony also has its first party studios kind of set up to be successful, instead of going I mean, if you named off the first party studios for Sony, there isn't very much of a terrible studio out of that list anymore. You know, you used to think that something like they're
all
blanking on
minimum.
Yeah,
like
and now
B team.
Yeah, they used to have that kind of stuff, and that's when they would use them for their first lineup, or their first lineup wouldn't be as good. But now these studios are really good. I mean, they're coming out with high quality games.
Yeah, just last generation. I mean, Guerrilla Games, Killzone Shadowfall was like, yeah, it looks pretty, but is it really going to be that good of a game? But now that they've come out with Horizon Zero Dawn, it's like, oh no, that's a contender for, you know, it being a really good launch game. So I agree with you.
I have an After Dark prediction involving Naughty Dog. Actually, maybe that might be in Before Dark. Anyway.
Right, Evan or Liam? Evan or Liam?
What do you got?
Liam, go ahead.
Rockstar will announce a new game this year. In fact, they'll probably announce it in the next couple of months.
Wait, is this pie in the sky, or what is it?
No, this is my realistic prediction.
Yeah, plain or fancy.
This is a plain. Whether maybe a bit fanciful, but Rockstar are going to announce a new game in the next couple of months. I think it's going to originally be scheduled for this fall. Probably miss that window and slip into next year. If I was guessing, I would say it was going to be Bully 2, but I'm probably wrong, and it's probably something.
I know how much you want that game to come out, Liam.
Yeah. I want it to come out more. I would give one of my body parts I do not need.
You've been wanting this for a long, long time. That'd be so awesome.
First one was
actually
amazing.
Came true.
Yeah.
With what they can do now and the engine they have and how they've grown since they've made the first one, that'd be great.
And I think it's really smart for them to do so, because, and I think you are right, Liam, and this is why I think you're right. Last time Rockstar released Grand Theft Auto 5, that thing came out for 2 platforms. That thing sold bejeez.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be
freezes in the same frame.
I know, right? I think it's going to be. I think they're going to push online though. I think you're going to have the option to build your character, choose what school you want to be from. That would be awesome.
Oh, for like Bully,
yeah.
So like Bully Online or whatever. Okay. Oh, that'd be an interesting twist.
Bully Online, that's just called the internet, isn't it?
Am I
right? Am I right?
If I'm being honest, I'm not sure.
They just made
have an online component. I think Rockstar, because I don't know, they had like this huge company restructure during the development of Red Dead 2, because like internally, supposedly people within the company are upset at the pace at which they were creating games.
Well, then there was also the misogynistic culture that they were working in, the fact that certain in the organisation got paid squillions, and
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that's not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be.
I'm sorry. This is a huge faux pas, but is Rockstar still privately owned?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
They're owned by Take-Two.
They're owned by Take-Two, but they've got control over everything that studio does. So,
okay. Oh, because I was trying to.
They have contractual control over the games production, the IP, and everything like that. But technically, they are owned by Take-Two. Okay,
yeah, because I was trying to remember if stockholders or shareholders were involved, and you're right. But I was like, can they really complain? They didn't even put out a game this generation, and they're still in the NPDs like every month.
They put Red Dead 2.
Sorry.
GTA 5.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, GTA. I was saying they didn't put out a GTA in this generation.
Well, technically they did 5 and remade it for this
generation of consoles.
It's brand new release. So.
That's like saying the GameCube got to
Biker Punks.
But I mean that's why I say this is what they're going to do, because that's the strategy. They're going to make so much money, and that's what they did last time, and it worked. So why not?
It doesn't matter if you make one game every 8 or 9 years if that game is going to be the highest grossing piece of all entertainment media ever.
And I bet you
it's in the top 10 sellers every month.
I bet you
that still blows my mind that
and I don't think it's going to be Bully. I think it's going to be a new Grand Theft Auto for that exact reason. I think
and
they're going to,
before they put the casino in.
Because and I think because Liam, this is what I think, and I know you really want Bully too. I think their strategy going forward is probably going to be, release the Grand Theft Auto in between console generations.
Release the Grand Theft Auto. Sorry.
And then a few years later, release a game that is not Grand Theft Auto, but still a Rockstar property, and that's where Bully 2 could come in. So like your Red Dead Redemption 2, that's where that one would come in.
Evan nearly made me spit my beer over my iPad.
I mean, it's risky releasing a game like Grand Theft Auto at the beginning of a console generation because
they're coming for McRuleman.
It's just they don't have that much of a grasp on the technology yet, and if they wait just a few years, like say if they release,
but again, it's PC.
2024.
It could be.
They don't have a contract. They don't have a grasp on the PC.
It could be.
Well, no, on the console technology,
not like a cell processor or anything like that. That's why it's
whether we like it or not. Like games that come out are actually dictated more by the technology in the consoles than on PC, because PC is always ahead, but games are always made to scale to basically fit on the console.
It could be cross-generational though, like GTA 5 was.
Yeah.
And it's probably easier to do it this generation than ever before because there isn't those complicated things.
And with AMD making all the chips for everyone, basically.
No, I don't think it will happen.
Right, Evan, last.
I just wish Rockstar would... No, release it for PC at the same time. Whatever game it was, just release it for PC at the same time, and I might actually play one.
No, they won't. They won't because that's not their target market. Their target market is mass market. Unless they come up with a VR option, in which case then they'll be on all the. That's why it's going to get delayed. They're going to watch what the sales of Half-Life Alyx does, and then they're going to come up with life in GTA.
VR
and that's going to be
experience.
Yeah, that's going to be their VR experience. Evan, are you going to go real? Or are you going to go fancy?
You guys tell me which this is.
Real.
Well, I'm the only one who's gone crazy so far. EA might.
Now he's going to pick fancy just to spite me.
No, you guys. This isn't like a guessing game. I want you guys to react and if you think this is fantastical or not, because I'm not quite sure. Ghosts of Tsushima will have an Assassin's Creed-like twist. And what I mean by that is...
like a magical realism twist?
Kind of like... not
someone
necessarily
from
like
future
it's
reliving
all...
their past life. Or...
Children, let the boy talk.
No, but like I
asked
see what
the question. I'm answering it. If you don't want me to answer a question, don't fucking ask one.
It's gonna have a twist similar to something futuristic about it, or there's some sort of simulation or something like that going on. The main reason that I think so was initially because of the logo, because the logo with the two little arrows I think it's in the O. Mm-hmm. It looks like they're winking at, or they're foreshadowing something that's going to happen within the game.
Interesting.
It just looks it doesn't match like what the setting is. What, like 1247?
Yeah,
I think that's when the Mongols.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to wander around because it's getting dark here, and I'm going to get a lamp to shine in my face so that you can all see me in my beautiful glory. I'm not going to go fetch my powdered wig, Matt.
Oh, damn.
Well,
just turn around and look at that crystal ball behind you.
Yeah. Why isn't that? You just move the crystal ball and it'll shine the light on your face a little bit there.
That's really interesting. I struggled to. Hold on. Comfy time. I struggle with deciding whether or not that's plain or fancy, because that I think I had never thought about something like that before because I kind of regarded as Ghost of Tsushima as the almost complete low fantasy, but not low fantasy, like historical fiction, Japanese versus the Mongols, like video game. And that's kind of what was so interesting to me about it, is that it didn't have any super fantastical thing except for the insane agility of the character to be able to, like, shoot a cable, whip themselves around, and do a leap with such precision or whatever, which is almost superhuman. But that's actually really interesting. I don't really have a take on, but I'm like, that's kind of an interesting take because of the logo. Like, are you thinking that logo is almost like a company logo?
I just think the two little arrows they have in the logo is like they're hinting at something that's going to happen in the game.
Something's out of place. Okay.
That's something slightly out of place. And one thing is there was an article about how they weren't necessarily going for 100% realism in the game. And there's a quote from Chris Zimmerman. He's one of the game programmers. He said, if you have an idea about what the samurai look like or how they act or how you think we're going to give that to you, most people's idea is really based on the idea of samurai, which is really more 16th, 17th, and 18th century idea of samurai. 13th century samurai historically are pretty different in terms of how they fought and what they wore. It doesn't match your expectations. So I think something like this would actually give them an out in terms of it not being historically accurate, because I'm pretty sure the sword he's using in the game is a katana, which hadn't been made at that time. That
wasn't until more like the Bushido time, which is the samurai predate the Bushido code of in the way that like it was like an honorary thing back during the when samurais were mercenaries. They were hired swords, not protectors of honor.
Yeah, they're like just protecting fucking farmland from people like robbing them, and
they were witchers. They were witchers.
And I mean, one reason is like the samurai, when the Mongols invaded, their swords would break off in the boiled leather of the Mongols, and that's what led them. They were too thin. That's what led them to develop the katanas. In that like, I don't know, we're all familiar with, but I don't know. This might be pie in the sky. I actually hope it's not true, because I think that would be kind of dumb if they do something like this.
I agree with you. 100%.
Gotcha.
I think it's pie in the sky, Evan, because it's too.
I'm gonna hope it's pie in the sky. I'll say this.
So do I. So do I. I want it to be like historical fiction, like you said, Mike. I'd prefer that for sure.
Well, the historical fiction part is, why is everyone speaking English?
Yeah, you better. I mean,
you probably could do it to native Japanese and do subtitles if you wanted. It's possible.
Hey, haven't you heard of this thing called capitalism?
That actually was what I thought was actually most historically accurate, even though it was a fanciful game of Neo 1, is the guy who spoke to you in English when you first got to the game. He spoke in such a broken English that a person who had only had the smallest exposure to English would have spoken like, and everyone else speaks in Japanese. I was like, actually, that's not hokey. That's, if he's trying to communicate, that's kind of what he would sound like. And I was like, that's.
So you're saying he had Google Translator like McWomble just had with his Japanese a minute ago?
See, technology in the past. That's what I'm talking about with this prediction here.
I really hope they don't do that, because to be honest, I actually.
But have you guys seen the logo? It looks out of place. Like if this is supposed to be.
I see.
There's two different ones.
Do you not think it just has something to do with
arrows?
Being like a more small twist of the arrow, like that the main character is dead, or he's a ghost, right?
Yeah, he's reincarnated.
Right.
So
in the trailer, they're like, he died on the battlefield. Blah blah blah.
Quite possibly, yeah.
I guess just delve into Japanese mythology a little bit. I don't know.
No, I think they're not going for a mythological angle, because that's what Neo is going for. They wouldn't want to cannibalize the sales of another Sony.
Well, I mean,
exclusive.
Neo isn't made by Sony. Neo is made by Tecmo.
That's published.
but
published
Sony
by
just
Sony,
happened.
it's not coming out on anything else for the
Sony
time being.
have no real like affinity with that game, like other than publishing it.
I guess
Sekiro
was
Ghost of
logical.
Tsushima began development for Neo.
Money talks. They have financial stake in that game, whether it does well or not. It gets money from publishing that game, so it does, and it will. I mean, they still, even if they are not one of their studios, Herman of Worldwide Studios would still go visit them and see their game in action. So he would probably let them know to say, hey, just so you know, these guys that are doing Neo 2, they're doing it in this similar style. You may want to change a little bit so you're not doing the same trend. So
you've just given Mitch. Mitch is very clever. Mitch just gave the new head of Sony Worldwide Studios, Herman something, whose name I can't remember, his Hideo Kojima name, Worldwide Herman.
The Worldwide Hermit. No. The Worldwide Hermit.
Yeah. That would be oxymoronic. Right, moving on. Who? Let's go back down the line. Evan, what's your next prediction for 2020?
So his realistic one, because the other one was pie in the sky.
Well, Matt took mine, the whole VR thing,
really?
But yeah, that's why I said "damn it" when you said it.
Say "damn it"?
Well, I just thought you were being jokingly saying
comedic.
No, I was
that's legit.
No, Evan's not that funny.
No, that's something I had been hoping for, because I always looked at the PlayStation VR. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till they do the wireless.
Yeah,
and that was always the thing I was thinking of.
Well, here, Evan, you can have one of my extra predictions. Dreams.
Go ahead.
Dreams will have an NSFW category.
NS.
What?
Oh my gosh,
that's horrible. That's horrible.
Evan, so what do you think about that? Like that's a bold prediction. How do you back that up?
Is it going to have the link direct to Pornhub? Is that what you're going for?
I want to see.
Pornhub will have a direct link to it.
To Dreams. Yeah.
To Dreams.
Here's the thing. People will start posting their NSFW Dreams made games onto Pornhub.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
This is what's gonna make
poorly
VR
rendered
work.
3-minute clips of that game.
Wow, this is something I didn't even think about, but that is actually a spectacular prediction of how they're going to handle that. Like, how are they going to do that?
I don't know how to view Mike's gear anymore.
I wonder if
I saw him as this kind of wholesome family man, and then he comes out with predictions like that.
No, I'm saying they have one of two options. They have one of two options. Either
18 or only.
Oh, it gets flagged as like, oh, this game has a phallus in it or whatever, or it gets flagged and banned, or it gets flagged and put in a category that's like, okay, like there is mature content. Like that's probably the boring way that they'll do, like, oh, games with mature content. But I was like, like
YouTube for this show where Matt has to tag it.
Yeah. But
hey, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
And to be honest, knowing people in Dreams, it's going to have to be is it N17?
NC17.
NC17?
No, it's East 17. They had a couple of #1 hits in the UK back in the 90s.
I have a prediction. Someone's going to recreate the GTA San Andreas hot coffee
in Dreams.
In Dreams.
Okay. Very bold predictions, Evan. I like it. I like where you're going.
Yeah. I just sometimes it just comes to me, Just comes to me.
So they should be dreaming that happens in Dreams, because that would practically guarantee the game's success, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. Reach for the stars, man. It's been in development for so long.
Why VHS beat Betamax?
So it was always going to be between Minecraft and Dreams. You know, Minecraft's Betamax in this.
There you go.
Right, Liam, go for it. Predict.
My ridiculous. Well, no, it's not really ridiculous, but what I want to happen is I want Bethesda to go fuck itself. I hope somebody buys them.
Quite literally.
I want them to fire everybody who works there and give management to somebody who actually cares about their properties.
Are you sparing ID Software in this call?
No. I do software.
What about Arcane? What about Arcane Studios?
Arcane shadows of their.
Well, most of the people from Arcane have left to go and make
exactly.
Weird West.
ID Software is
most of the talent at Arcane.
ID Software is the only person doing their job.
Exactly, and they deserve better.
Oh, okay. Okay, like you're not destroying ID, but you're.
No. I'm destroying the company management. And
gotcha. Okay, all right. I was like, why would you touch ID?
Right.
Like,
believe me, I love the studio so much. I get pissed off. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. The reason that Akumi Nakamura left Tango Gameworks is because they were like, hey, we want to put microtransactions in this game that, well, it doesn't need microtransactions because it's like a story-based game, but we're going to force it in there. How about we make people pay for money, like in Wolfenstein Youngblood? I mean, what the fuck? You know, you happen to put in microtransactions to get more money so you can actually complete the game.
That's so disappointing.
If you run out of ammo at the end of that game, you can't complete it because you haven't enough ammo to complete it. It's ridiculous. It's
right. So, Liam,
and they know they're doing it full well.
Now Todd Howard is out of a job. What job are you going to get Todd Howard to do?
Todd Howard wouldn't be out of the job.
Apple
but
spokesperson.
He would be locked up in his game studio and kept away from the cameras.
He's not going to go work for EA?
I was actually
no.
He would make a really, really interesting like high school janitor.
Or
like
just
the janitor from
sweeping
Control.
stuff up, talking about coding and
like
he's
you walk
mopping
by him
up
in the hallway and he
eight-year-old
always has
kid.
something interesting to say, and you're like, why are you here in this job? He's like, it keeps me sane.
Like, so as he's mopping up some 8-year-old sick, he said, "This reminds me of that time where we couldn't get the texture design right on the floor."
It's like Limbo.
Or it's like he really liked Control and really wants to know what the janitor felt like with the head.
Don't say anything else about Control. I just started it today and I fucking love that game. I can't get enough of it.
Evan,
it's so good.
I just bought it.
I bought it on the sale, yeah.
Once you finish it, we need to talk, especially after you get some headphones. It's awesome.
If anyone still has their like $10 coupon on the Epic Store left, go get Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. Like,
I heard that's good.
You can get it for $12.
Is it better than the first game? Because the first game was.
The first game wasn't bad.
No, what?
Rebel Galaxy Outlaw is very good. Like Matt Kyle talked it up, and he talked it up well.
Yeah, I want to talk about the first Rebel Galaxy on a different show that no one wants to do, which I've already got a name for, which is Refer a Friend. # Refer a Friend. The pitfalls of recommending games or being recommended games.
You need to get Ryan Stevens on that show.
Yeah, it's been on the list for a while.
Yeah, that's a dangerous one.
Everyone feels really enthusiastic about that, so thanks.
So Liam, your prediction was Bethesda can go fuck itself.
Basically.
That's as high in the sky.
Can any single one of you like say that you're not super anxious about what Bethesda Game Studios does next with?
I can say for a fact.
Then
you are right.
Anything this year?
I'm going to say.
Sorry, Mitch. Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say for a fact, I basically don't like any of their properties.
Right.
I mean, Doom was good, but am I crazy for Doom 2?
Sorry.
No.
I am very, very excited for Doom Eternal, but since it is kind of has like, a lot of leeway to do what it needs to do. Like, it's proven that it can make a fantastic game. And they're like, okay, all right, you're the only thing that's not screwing up. But kind of like what you say, like the rest of Bethesda stuff, like Rage, I didn't care for. To be honest, I'm one of the 8 people who bounced off of Skyrim.
9.
Oh, 9. Okay, cool. Well, there's 9 of us now. Dozens of us. Dozens.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Those properties are infinite, like possibility. Except when Fallout 3 came, you thought
Oatmeal has infinite possibilities.
Here's the issue with Bethesda software in general. This is the issue that they have. They are too much of the same. They do not, when they try to divert, it still feels the same game.
I'm gonna have to come at you for that.
Dishonored. Hold on, let me finish. Dishonored feels like.
Do not, Mitch.
Feels like.
Yeah, you are.
Elder
That's some
Scrolls.
fucking thin ice, man.
Yeah, Dishonored does feel like Elder Scrolls because
Does
Elder
it?
Scrolls does
No.
have magic.
No,
Not even, dude.
Elder Scrolls
Like,
just
it's
like
first
Fallout.
person, so it's the same. Absolutely not. No
right,
fucking way.
everybody
be
have it.
quiet.
They don't do
Everybody
enough
be quiet for a
creativity with
second,
it.
including you, Mitch. Everybody be quiet. I just want to point out that when Mitch was talking a little while ago, and then Mike's Q said something, Matt's face was flashing micro expressions like a motherfucker. So, Mitch, when you said you don't like any of the properties, Matt's
heart broke.
it was literally that, and it was just the
short beard guy.
Yeah, short beard guy was
So disheartened.
and then
then
it was a flash of anger towards Mike's Q, and when he said he fell off Skyrim hard, it was there was just the blinking of the eyes. You could see the fire that was burning behind them.
Short beard guy. I will say, I did play the best quest in that game, and that's what made me bounce off.
Which quest?
I got to A Night to Remember.
Okay. Did you do that because of Vin?
No. I found that quest, was blown away by that quest, and then never found anything else like that. And then I was like,
there's other stuff like that in the game.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter because Bethesda can go fuck itself in 2020.
Apparently, okay.
Yeah, I think they just need something to kind of to be fresh, something new, something to make it different.
Well, there's.
I need to say this, Mitch. Bethesda needs to keep doing what they're doing. Great RPG games with great mechanics, all of this stuff. But the technology needs to evolve because they've been using the same technology for their games since freaking Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
And actually, to your credit, that's probably what it is. To be truthfully honest, that's probably what it is for me.
I go to sleep at night thinking about what would a Bethesda game look like in the Decima engine.
I go to sleep not caring.
What if a Bethesda game actually had colors? And not the dark colors. It has dark color schemes constantly.
I mean, that depends on which story you're trying to tell, though.
But Dishonored has a dark color scheme. Skyrim does have some moments where it has some green grass.
Even as someone who hasn't finished them, I think Dishonored games are fascinating. I think they look completely different from like your Skyrims and other stuff.
But then they couldn't make another one, and they did two Dishonored games and Prey, which are barring the
which it's not Prey. That's the other reason I'm mad at that. It's not even Prey.
I want the Native American badass
mercenary
guy back.
That
Thank
game
you.
Never existed. Doesn't exist. Never existed.
Prey's fucking amazing. That game's great. You guys are crazy.
The second game.
It's a good game.
It is good. It's a fantastic game.
It's not Prey.
But it's not.
You guys played the. I didn't even know what Prey was until I heard about Prey 2. So.
Yeah.
Prey was a Native American Xbox 360 game that came out basically on launch, I think. And your girlfriend gets abducted by aliens in a bathroom in a bar, and you have to go save her. And when you die, it's a really cool experience because you have like you're a spirit and you have Native American arrows and you have to shoot.
Wow, that is completely different from the Bethesda game.
Yeah,
it's really like a Blackfoot or a Navajo or an Apache or something who goes into space and deals with like alien mercenaries and other stuff like that. And Prey 2, like the original look for the original trailer for Prey 2,
which we've spoken about on this show.
Trailer.
We have. But yeah, so I agree. It's not Prey, and that's probably my other gripe with this studio. This studio just grinds my gears.
Well,
so I agree.
It was a perfectly good game, though.
Okay, for my boring prediction then, Bethesda's E3 press conference will show the first concept art of Skyrim. What was it? Matt, you'll know what the next Skyrim is going to be called.
Starlink?
Well, it's just Elder Scrolls 6.
Wait, which one's coming out first, though? Is it Starlink or Elder Scrolls?
I think it's Starfield,
coming
right?
Starfield
Yeah.
Starfield.
Starfield. Starlink was Battle for Atlas.
See,
which
this is
you
how
can
much
get
we
for
don't care about the studio. We don't even know the name of the game.
2 sticks of gum and a button at the moment. You can get Starlink for.
I got it for $6.
So yeah, Starfield's meant to be coming out first, which you'll get the first. Bethesda's E3 press conference will have the first in-engine footage of Starfield, and then they'll show the first. They'll announce the name of the Elder Scrolls 6, and they'll expect everyone to lose their shit. And no one does, and everyone says, "Go fuck yourself, Bethesda, for 2020."
Apart from the paid people in the audience.
In the mind, that's what everyone is saying, but they'll just be clapping.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a boring prediction for you to move the shit along, because we've been talking for nearly an hour and a half already.
All right, Darkoff, what's your prediction?
So my pie in the sky prediction is that they will cure cotton allergies. And Jeff Keighley will wear socks at the next Game Awards.
Yes, we need to support this. Or is he going to go with silk socks? Or is he just allergic to the concept of socks? Maybe he's going to go and get some kind of psychiatric help to get rid of his perceived sock allergy.
Hypnotized.
He might have a phobia of socks.
Yeah.
Psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy. Psychosomatic.
I think he was just waiting for his socks to be made out of all of the pubic hair of Hideo Kojima.
Oh, God. That's horrible.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, Mike's Q, what you got?
All right.
How much more can we upset Matt?
Maybe depending on how much he likes Naughty Dog, I might be able to upset him a lot.
Yeah.
He's not fussed, really.
He doesn't like them very much.
All right.
You could upset Mitch.
I
have two kind of very similar score related predictions.
Shoot him, but go quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. All right. Final Fantasy VII Remake will score better than Kingdom Hearts 3, but still fall below expectations. They will not tease a release date for Part 2. Doom Eternal and Ghost of Tsushima will receive better critic scores, but worse user scores.
Wow, that's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I'd agree with most of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with most of it as well.
Yeah, I was like,
I do think they will, at the end of Final Fantasy Remake, when you play the game, it will have a
teaser,
a year and a tease for the next episode.
I wasn't even going to give them that much credit. I think they'll tease what the next episode will be, but with no time frame whatsoever.
Are they going to do a next time on Final Fantasy VII Remake
with the announcer or the guy who does the VO at the end of Dragon Ball episodes? Next time on Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2.
I can't believe they're just calling it remake. That is so dishonest.
I know. Yeah.
They're going to have to do something like that to keep people interested, because how long has it taken them from the announcement at E3? 3 years or 4 years? So 4 years.
Well, sure, but it's not the whole game, right?
And they
they
also had to restart from scratch.
Yeah,
about halfway through development.
They can't be in a position at the moment that they've got a part 2 ready for 2021.
No, I did not say 2021's on there. It could say 20.
No, I'm agreeing.
It's just a year.
I think they're going to have to tease it, and they're going to have to either leave it on an absolute cliffhanger that is going to keep people thinking, oh my God, I need this, because it's going to take them another 2 or 3, maybe even another 4 years.
But you can't hang it on a cliffhanger, because we know the whole story.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
That's not going to stop people from griping about, spoilers, man. You're getting like, dude, this is like Macbeth.
Aerith dies, bro. Just get over it.
Yeah.
And you can play through Final Fantasy VII Remake, because technically it's this remake, because you've got Final Fantasy 7 remake or remaster or whatever on
It's a
everything
remaster,
now anyway.
not a remake.
Matt, how many remakes since you own all of the Final Fantasy VIIs that have ever been made ever? How many have there been?
Well, so the Steam version is just an updated PC version.
He's gonna fucking read them off as well.
Yeah, the Steam version is just an updated version of the IDOS PC version from '98.
But question:
I like how you have the year thrown in for good.
Do you count the original release and the PlayStation Greatest Hits as two separate entries?
No, those, as far as I know, they're the same version.
Yeah.
What about the Switch version?
Isn't like the biggest difference in those games the fact that they have mouths in like the updated ones?
And they actually have physical body parts and not little like circles representing the arms and the legs. And
Hi everybody. Welcome to the Shit on Matt episode.
Yeah, really.
The other score-related one I had was that The Last of Us Part 2 will be almost as good as what Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 will be almost as good as what people claim The Last of Us Part.
Because that sounded Scottish.
Part 2.
Last of Us Part 2.
Last of Us.
What are you talking about?
Oh, blimey, it'll be fucking good. It's almost as what people thought Last of Us Part 1 was.
Okay, yeah. Is it that sounds like the accent that someone would do as an American pretending to be someone who is Scottish.
Correct.
So,
I was 100% accurate.
So got a career there because no one actually asks people who can actually do Scottish accents to do Scottish accents.
So you know what would be really hilarious, Mick Womble and Mike's
if Mike did my voiceover.
No, if Shane sent him something over to do voiceover and he has to do a Scottish accent and he just hires you to do it, but he claims the credit.
I'm game.
So yeah, like Last of Us Part 2 will be almost as good as what people claim The Last of Us Part 1 to be.
Well, I don't claim it to be very much.
People, you're not people.
Impress me. Come on, Naughty Dog. I think
it will be just as good as the last game. I think
people are going to lose their minds over it.
I think others will lose their minds. I don't think it's. When I go play this game, I don't expect it to be better.
Yeah.
See, the problem I have is that I actually don't enjoy playing almost any Naughty Dog game. Like
you enjoy watching it.
Yeah, I played through the trilogy, the Nathan Drake trilogy recently, and I'm like, I turned down the difficulty not because like I couldn't get through. I'm like, I actually don't enjoy playing this.
Burkoff, you got a friend.
I know.
I struggled playing through the 3 because I played through the 3 games back to back.
Yeah,
I was just getting the kind of fucking hell, not this same shit again.
Yeah, no. Like, I had to take a break in the middle of 3. I had to take a break.
There was a drastic change because I played them in order as they were released when I was a kid. So for me, there's such a drastic difference between
back in a bit.
And 2.
Evan's having an existential crisis right now.
Liam, we need to seriously log off and get on a new fucking podcast.
I think so.
No idea what these people are fucking talking about.
Don't you have a podcast?
I do. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna log off after we're done.
No, I definitely enjoy the games, and I think what you guys are missing out on for the people that are just playing it like back to back to back, the games did get better. And so,
but even with the improvements
and it made it more enjoyable when you got from game to game to game, because the story was always good, but in gameplay wise, it always got better and better and better.
I'm probably gonna go out and kill someone after this podcast.
Not before my prediction.
I'm gonna go out and find some poor soul in the street and go Joel on him.
I've said this before, but I wish the gameplay of the Tomb Raider series could be swapped with the Uncharted series, and to me, it would be a better series for it.
The aiming mechanics would be better for sure.
You guys got to get. I don't know what to say. You guys got to get good, man. Like, fuck.
I have.
Actually, you know what?
I beat all of them on hard. I just didn't enjoy the Naughty Dog ones.
I would say if you switch the Tomb Raider combat with Uncharted, I'm actually fine with that because I think they play very, very similar. But when people complain about the Last of Us combat, I don't get that part of it. It's very different from Uncharted, but I'm like,
it's
fine.
It's supposed to be really hard. It's not supposed to be easy because you're limited on ammo. You're not a talented mercenary of any kind, unlike Nathan Drake. Somehow he's got the talents.
I play almost every game just like the original Uncharted games. Like Resident Evil 4, I don't shoot a bullet until the chainsaw guy in the first village if I don't have to. Like, and I'm doing that on like I love playing like I have no ammunition, but I have 700 rounds of ammo that I might need on a Wednesday in June. But
okay, all right. To my prediction, unless Evan or Liam, you got something
No, go ahead.
to rip on these
Thank God
guys.
we've moved on.
All right, so my pie in the sky prediction is, and now I'm blanking for a quick second.
I have another one if you want it.
Nope, I got one. Oh yes. So my pie in the sky prediction is Microsoft will repeat last generation and will be more expensive than Sony because they will make the mistake and they will say their price at E3, and 2 hours later, or sorry, a day later, it has changed a little bit. A day later, Sony will drop their price by $100.
I don't think that's a pie in the sky prediction at all. I think they're going to come out and it's going to be $4.99.
But I think the reason why I say it's a pie in the sky prediction is because I don't think Microsoft will ever let this happen. And I think, and to be truthfully honest, I think they will actually then say, we're announcing another price cut and cut the price one more time.
So neither Sony nor Microsoft are going to announce the price because neither one wants to go first. we're just gonna go to the store, and there's going to be no price.
I think Sony.
Hand over your credit card.
I think
and
Sony
see
just
how much
wants,
they charge you.
Sony just wants the undercut, and just to get them in price, they don't care if they match them in price. They were cheaper first. They didn't bow to anybody or anything first.
Right, and
even though they secretly did.
Well, I mean, Sony's
this is kind of it's an interesting concept this year at least because Sony has been so weird with and mysterious about everything and like not leaking, doing interviews for Wired and all this type of thing.
Yeah,
so we don't necessarily know. Yeah, so we don't even know if they're going to be at E3. So if it's like if Microsoft has to be at E3. Like Sony doesn't have to be there. Yeah, they could just like wait Sony and then just like release a YouTube video.
It will be at E3. They will be at E3. That for sure. I think the only reason they set out this year is because they didn't feel like they had enough to announce. And look at their lineup that they had this last year. They did not have a lot to announce. So I think for them, the other thing is I think they were trying some new strategies, which I thought were kind of effective in some ways. The example with the Wired article, I think that was extremely effective because Stadia was literally having press conferences about their stuff. And here
everyone was talking about PS5. Yep.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden Sony showed a Wired article and said, hey, this is kind of the specs we're going for PS5. All of a sudden the conversation changed and look at where Stadia is at right now.
Oh, did you just say announce the logo?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh. The logo, I was just like, what?
But that's what I mean. It's like there's a lot of what moments in there.
Yeah.
In their PR.
Right. Oh, sure. I think
about 5 minutes ago, Matt wanted to say something.
Sorry, Matt.
Matt, can you remember what you wanted to say before everyone spoke over you again?
No.
Sorry, I did. That was me.
I've lost
and me. And Liam. And Mitch.
Right. Who's next?
The higher ground.
Right. And if no one's going to say anything, Cyberpunk 2077 will come with a teaser for a new Witcher game.
Ooh,
Okay.
ooh.
Yeah.
That fits
I can add to that.
That fits into my other prediction. It was a short prediction.
Go, Liam.
Go, Liam.
Go, Liam.
Remake of the original Witcher.
Just the one?
That'd be nice.
Yeah, just the one.
One is the one that needs it most. 2 is still kind of playable. It's got some jank, that'd be awesome, but 1 is unplayable right now. I've retried it recently.
Oh, it totally is. It's
but my
we pissed off Mitch so much that he's left.
Yeah.
Oh, he bounced. My other bold, like unsubstantiated prediction was Cyberpunk 2077 will have a cameo from both Geralt and Ciri, but not Yennefer.
Oh wow, that's pretty wild. Or do you mean like could it be something like, obviously this isn't Geralt of Rivia, but it totally is, like you know what I mean? Like he looks exactly like her, but it's like wink, wink, nudge, nudge type of thing.
If I was putting it in the plain category, that's what it would be. But because it was in my fancy, I'm seriously thinking like grizzled man with like hood over his thing, just white hair pouring out, like distinctly non-cybernetic individual in a cybernetic world, but still
and you walk
very angry.
You walk over to him, and he's just he's standing at he's at a bar or something. You walk over and say,
he's like in the corner of a bar, like Strider in the Fellowship of the Ring.
And you just and you can go over and talk to him, and the only thing he says is
something like that. That was what I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's like Samus sleeping in bed in Super Mario RPG.
All right.
So when I heard that prediction, I had to rage quit.
Do we want to?
Do you think he'd have Roach with him? Just saying.
No.
Or he's doing push-ups on top of the house.
A horse with him. Just randomly.
No, I was going to say you could find a motorcycle with the title Roach on the side.
That's actually not like I wouldn't bet against that. Seriously.
I honestly think they're going to be playing The Witcher 3 inside Cyberpunk. Like someone's going to be playing it at a bar or something like that. And if they do announce another one, they probably really should do a better story for people that are new into the franchise.
If anyone on here is a fan of the Witcher franchise and they haven't played Thronebreaker, I really recommend that you do. I thoroughly enjoyed that game.
Is that the campaign for Gwent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's a card game. I'm sorry,
yeah,
Bumble. I can't oblige you.
He doesn't do Yu-Gi-Oh. He doesn't do Pokemon card games. He just doesn't do card games. I'm sorry, McQuam.
I trust the heart of the cards.
Upon replaying The Witcher 3, I have been avoiding Gwent at all costs.
I did all.
But this is the campaign mode. It's not like, from what I know, because I've not played The Witcher 3.
Every Galdern card.
It's and it reveals some of the backstory to why Geralt is actually called Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah, if you read the books,
because he was born in Rivia.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
And his name is Geralt.
That part is true. That part is true.
Woo.
All right, gentlemen. I think we should start to wrap it up.
Yep. Okay.
Matt, we will finish on your next prediction, and then we'll do another round the screen, just random. We'll do 2 words each.
Lightning.
Random prediction. Right. So Matt, what is your last prediction for 2020?
My last one was the Jeff Keighley one. I don't have any.
Yeah, he already did it. We're already done with predictions.
Well, I was hoping he might be able to think on his feet a little bit, but just come up with something random.
Take this one, Matt. The PS5 will have only 90-degree angles.
What?
Oh, yeah, that's actually not bad. I hope so.
The box will have only 90-degree angles. No trapezoid.
That should work, yeah.
So it's actually
what about full backwards compatibility?
Oh no,
that would be nice.
This is my plain, not my fancy.
Yeah.
90-degree angles.
I will take that for the fancy. Full backwards compatibility on both generations on both consoles.
It's totally going to happen.
Right. So wrapping up, we're going to go me, Matt, Liam, Mitch, Evan, Mike. 2 words each, and I'll start with Microsoft and
Bethesda.
One other word. Come on. It's 2 words.
Will.
Make love.
Split up.
Wait. Who? Wait.
2 Metros.
Right. So people who can't listen.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Me, then Matt, then Liam, then Mitch, then Evan, then Mike. So
Mike,
Microsoft and Bethesda will make love
and eat. Evan.
Well, this is a peach.
A peach.
Off Samus.
All right. And on that note, gentlemen, we're going to be heading out.
So the outro music's going now.
Yeah.
We need to talk over that as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Fuck that.
The only thing we didn't get to my.
I really hope we finished on Evan just saying, I'm sorry, I fucked that up.